So to me, when I articulated that as a shallow niche, it's I have this, ideal client avatar who wears Converse sneakers. She's 5'5" and likes to watch Notebook.
The Making Business Effortless podcast mission is to support successful entrepreneurs by sharing the stories of high-performing service-based business owners while sharing tips and helpful resources so you can buy back time and make more wealth in your business and in your life. My guest today is Sutton McCraney. She's an incredible business coach, and we are starting the first of many series where business coaches get together and just talk business. So you get to a little behind the scenes of how we feel about what we see going on out there. This is a no pitch conversation. This is just listening to two idiots talk about business. So and two women that aren't afraid to really share our ideas and our opinions and discuss them regardless of who agrees or not. Right. So this is Sutton McCraney. Sutton McCraney, can you tell me a little bit about, you know, who you are? Yes, she's a business coach, but I'd like for her to explain how she got into this, who she is, just quickly, and then we'll get to our topic today, which is something that you mentioned on social media, the shallow niche. I found that really interesting, and I'd like to hear more definition about that too.
Hey, well, hello everyone, and thank you, Leah, for having me here today. I'm excited to be a part of this new creation of yours. I think it's brilliant. So, my name is Sutton. I am a business mentor for mom coaches and online service providers, helping them attract their first clients without all of the hassle, headache, and runaround that comes along with those early stages of growth. So, I am a United States Air Force veteran, homeschool mom of four. And like so many others in the entrepreneurial space, my path was meandering. Like
Mm-hmm.
I actually wanted to start a fitness boutique here in Morocco when I had decided to leave the Air Force. But that was right before COVID, and that just wasn't going to work out. So I
Right.
meandered, went back to school, got my master's, started a podcast, did some project management for a startup. A friend of mine was starting a business, and I was giving them some advice, and they were like, "Why don't you just like charge for this?" And I was like, "No, you're crazy. It doesn't make any sense." So I started an LLC and sat on it for like a whole year. Put a little post out about $200, and I thought I was like doing it.
Doing the I'm bomb now, baby.
Right. Then finally somehow got past the stationery and the note taking and planning and got myself together. Hired a phenomenal business mindset coach, and so yeah, the rest is kind of history.
Yeah,
That's
I
me
think
in a
it's
nutshell.
interesting because we both have business mindset coaches. I mean, they are business strategists. They are business coaches. They help you with the strategy and the marketing of your business, which is the same thing both of us do, but just on a different level, right?
Hmm.
I mean, that's the thing. And that's something that I've also noticed is that a lot of people aren't really clear about what level. And I think that has something to do with what you mentioned. I saw it on Facebook when you posted about the shallow niche,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So for definition's sake and your take on it, what is the shallow niche in your mind?
So to me, when I articulated that as a shallow niche, it's I have this, ideal client avatar who wears Converse sneakers. She's 5'5" and likes to watch Notebook. And so
Yeah,
what happens is you go out looking for that specific person instead of taking a step back and saying, what is the problem that I solve?
right.
And so that's what I think the focus needs to be on is the problem that is being solved. And this is where people get stuck in, this go around, oh, nothing is working. I can't find my ideal client. She's not here. She's not there. Your ideal client is everywhere.
Mhm.
But when you focus on the problem that you solve, then you start to stand out because most people are focusing on this ideal client avatar as
Right.
opposed to getting down to the specific problem that is solved, caveat that people are willing to pay for. So
Right.
that's what I'm thinking of when I think of a shallow niche. We're just focused on the optics or the superficial demographics, 25 to 35.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also the transformation. We focus too
Mm,
much on the transformation. Yes, it's great to share with people what it looks like to go through your services. That's what testimonials are for, is give a little background about their journey to show their transformation. And here's what they said about my services. But I think that a lot of them that I've worked with when I used to work with the ones that were in their first 1 to 2 years of business and just trying to reach, that 5K a month.
Mhm.
That's the level that they're at. They just need to reach that 5K and get consistent at it. I mean, that's something that we don't explain either, but I like that you say I am I solve this problem, right? I solve the problem to help you create 10K months consistently and build on that, right? But does that mean Sutton can't do it? No. That means that Sutton starts here with your journey. I start here with your journey, right? That's all that's the difference. And the only difference between the two is that one's playing on a little bigger game than the other one.
Mhm.
So therefore the services might be delivered differently. And I think that, even though we both solved the problem of bookings, I think the other thing about the shallow niche, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think when you do this solving the problem of bookings, that's your problem that you're solving,
Mhm.
that's shallow too. Because if you say, I help people book clients, well, are you an appointment setter? Are you a DFY? Are you a business coach? And how do you do that? What's the process you take people through, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't think there's enough of that. And I'm not saying don't share, there's telling people how to do something before they pay you versus telling them how you take them through it. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yeah, it does.
And is that where you're going with the shallow niche aspect of it?
Yeah, because like you said, it's fine. Okay, let me back up here. Because you want to lead with what your audience wants.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, for our example, people want to sign more clients. But
Hmm.
what's happening is people are getting stuck. They're not even getting to this point to say, what
Okay,
does
so
my ideal
define what is
client?
this point? What is
They're not
this
even
point?
getting to the point to where, okay, my audience wants this.
Hmm.
They're still at the point where they're chasing this person that doesn't exist. So we're
Hmm.
not peeling back the layers here. But when we're getting further along to what you're talking about, as far as like, okay, maybe you help people sign more clients, and that's superficial, and because you're not telling people how you do it.
Right.
Yeah,
The
that's another aspect of this as well, digging deeper.
hmm hmm And I think too, there's this lack of understanding, especially early on. The first 5 years of business are going to be
Hmm.
chaotic.
Hmm.
They're just chaotic because you're trying to figure out what the hell do I say? And honestly, and how do I say it?
Hmm.
But I think that people's reluctance, we have all this, I'm not going to get on a call with you. That's not the problem. It's not. I think the way some people and this is like a rabbit hole to go down for another day. The way people conduct sales calls has hurt the process of actually connecting with people on a more transparent
Yeah,
level so that we
absolutely.
can actually find out, are you my ideal client or not?
Well, because you don't know. Like if we're
Right.
still chasing, this imaginary person, you get on a call with them, you're not going to know if that person is even the person you can help because you
Right.
have not done the homework to really refine.
Well, I think you could that's how you do the homework is when you do the strategy calls. There's strategy calls and then there's sales calls. And I think people
Sure, yeah.
confuse the two. There's a nuance with the strategy call. And in the early beginnings, it's great to do a strategy call because you get to sit down, you get to find out the most common problems for those people in your niche. But you also start understanding that deeper level around their mindset about it and whether or not you even want to put up with that kind of mindset.
Well, that's not happening either.
Yeah, I know.
So,
No,
I
it's not.
still have my clients. If I have clients that are coming to me where it's this lack of clarity, which is what I see a lot of, we're doing market research.
Right.
And I find that there's you're fine, okay? I find that there's a lot of resistance with that because people are you're okay. Okay, come sit with me. Because people are skipping these steps and creating things that they think people want and want to pay for.
Right,
Instead
right,
of, like
right,
you're
right,
saying,
right.
going out there and asking, right? Talking to people, like you're saying, scheduling these calls. And now I see people promoting, oh, you can do all of this, you can sign, get 10K, 50K months without sales calls, without. So now we're skipping all the the basic steps
Well,
and
that's
wanting
the
to jump
thing,
into
though.
this other
That's the
stuff.
stage. You can do it without strategy calls. You can do it without sales calls, but you have to have done the sales calls and the strategies
Yeah.
calls and the market
Yes.
research. There's so
Yep.
many different ways. Strategy calls is just one way to do the market research, right? I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
just one way. Another way is getting into the groups and seeing what people are saying about your specific problem and writing down those words in a little document and keeping a little library of the common words spoken around that particular subject and the common mindset issues that you see and the common obstacles that you see. And do you want, and I think the other aspect of it is too, within the scope of your services, do you want to address that problem?
Hmm.
Because there are issues inside of booking clients
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily cover, which is like website development. I'll help you lay one out, but give it to somebody else to freaking build it, okay? Because I'm at that stage. But I also don't think that you should just start a business out with a website.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
Because
agree.
then I've seen so many websites that are like, look like Walmart Supercenter, where they're trying to, and this goes back to what you said, where they're trying to do everything for everybody. They're
Mm-hmm.
trying to give them everything that they want. And that's what I mean by the scope of your business.
Well,
The
then there's
scope of the
layers
services
within
you want to
that.
provide. Huh?
There's layers within that, and then
Yeah.
this whole idea, I want to serve everybody. We're getting into the mindset as well.
Yeah.
Making a decision as a business owner.
Yeah. I think that, I have a lot of examples of many businesses and I found it funny because you said somebody said you should get somebody to pay you for that. For us, this kind of thing is very simple, right? The way that we did it, it was like, well, this is too easy. Nobody's going to want to learn this kind of stuff. I mean, but the thing is, and I don't know if you discovered this with working with your own mentor, is that we screw up just as much as everybody else because we're in the thick of it. And that's why we have a mentor.
You only know
Because
what
they're
you know.
standing outside the weeds going,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I got the weed eater over here. Could you come here?
Yeah.
Let me get you out of the weed for a hot second and take a look at what you're doing. Do you really need to be going down this path of more information? Do you need to be doing the website right now? No. Depending on what stage you're in, no. Right. And I think with the shallow niche, what you're talking about there is, there's also going on to Amazon and looking up books about the problem you solve and seeing what
Mm-hmm.
people are saying in reviews about it and seeing
Mm-hmm.
if they're asking any other questions. And then say, well, do I want to address that or not inside my services? Because you can only do so much in 3 months, for example,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
depending on the stage
Yeah.
that business owner is in. There's only so much you can do in 3 months. You're not going to bring somebody in with 0 clients, right? With 0 clients and go, okay, we're going to build a website. We're going to, we're going to start AI. We're going to start automating everything. And then we're going to sell. No, we're going to start selling now. So you can
Yeah.
pay for the website so you can pay for the automation, so you can pay for the email list, so you can pay for all the other crap that you add later to make it easier on you.
Mm-hmm.
But right now you need to get out there and start talking to people.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get past that, you're not going to sell. Period.
Yeah. But that's not being said.
No, it's not being said. And now it is.
Boom.
There it is, boys and
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
I think too. Now this kind of contributes to the shallow niche that you were talking about too,
Mm-hmm.
with your services and whatnot. And by the way, if you want to learn more about Sutton, we've got all of her information down in the show notes, along with some opportunities from me as well. Pick and choose what you want, but we're talking business today. So it's kind of a weird way for a business coach to be, isn't it? Whatever. Go check out the show notes. So with this shallow niche aspect, I'm just thinking about how, a lot of the tools that are promoted,
Mm-hmm.
and we have AI, we have ConvertKit, the email systems to
All the
automate
stuff.
everything, all that stuff, websites, funnels, all the things that go into that to automate things, and it's always promoted as this will make life easier. No, it freaking won't.
No, not if you don't
No,
have
it
these
won't.
basics.
Yeah, not unless you have a good, strong foundation. And I always
Yeah.
think of it as, when a house is being built. Have you ever built your own home or seen a house being built?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I built the house that I'm in now.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize this. I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't realize the exact process, right? And I was like, God, when are they going to freaking build the house? And she's like, well, first they got to go to the city. They got to get the paperwork done. Then they got to wait on the city to pass the paperwork. And then they have to go in and they have to level out the land. And then they can carve out the land for the foundation. And then it takes forever and it looks like nothing is happening. And then all of a sudden, once that foundation is laid, you have a house. But now
That's
correct me if I'm
a
wrong,
great
people go
example.
shallow. They go after the little carrot of this will make everything faster, and they skip that foundation.
Yeah, and they may get to their mythical 10K or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not going to be, first of all, it's not going to be consistent. And second
Mm-hmm.
of all, you're going to run into all these other things that are going to come up because the foundation wasn't laid. So it's going to be
And that
chaos.
happens with 500K a month. I mean, that
Mm,
happens with every business. I mean, the businesses that I've come across in the past that I've worked for, I mean, like in corporate world with the radio stations that I worked for, they were selling $100,000 deals for commercials on their radio
mm,
station to large car lots like Dodge, Chevy. Those people is who they were
mhm,
selling to. And still we had this issue with them completely understanding what the process was, right? Because they're not in the business of marketing, really. They're in the business of sales. And
mhm,
when
which is
I've dealt
different.
with people that are really good at sales, they're not so hot with marketing,
Yeah.
right? And so you have to have both. It's like, you're missing a piece of your foundation. You put the floor down before you put down the actual foundation. And I think that's part of our problem, along with this hype about this is going to make everything easier. Yes, the name of my podcast is making business effortless, but it's not through it is partly through automation, but it's more through being okay with doing less and going deep with that. And I think
Mm.
that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, going deep with that. And then, like you mentioned, setting that foundation, because when you have your foundations in order, you don't have to lose sleep over, oh, is this going right? Where are the results? If you
Right.
know that you're doing the right things, then those results are going to come. You just need to keep putting in the work.
Yeah.
And I see people not wanting to do that, wanting to skip all of these steps that are necessary in order for you to get to those stages where you are automating and everything.
Or
Like
where
just an
you're
example.
doing less strategy calls, less
Yeah.
less sales calls. Because honestly, strategy calls and sales calls are market research, and you might get paid
Mm-hmm.
for it. I mean, if you
Mm-hmm.
just break down your mindset
Yes.
around that, and honestly, it takes a little bit, I think, for you to break that mindset of, so what? Somebody's in my DMs asking me how I'm doing today. Do I want to answer it or not? That's your choice. Don't get mad about it. Ask yourself, do I want to talk to this person or not?
Absolutely.
If they're literally leading with something that you're like, you didn't even pay attention to what I'm doing, so I'm not even, you're wasting my time. That's the way I look at it. It's if you're going to jump in there and immediately pitch me and use the wrong name and pitch me. The other day I was pitched for CNC machinery, not even understand what it is I do, and pitch to me, then you're wasting my time. I'm not going to answer you because I'm not going to waste your time with a simple answer of, that's not anything that I'm interested in. And that's the part of cold DMs, though. You're going to get that when you're a cold DMer and you accept that. But when you're dealing from a more of a space of client attraction, you have to learn more about who your ideal client is so you can speak their language in your content, not just posting day after day, 6 million posts a day, but in how you speak and how you communicate people, whether it's in person or online. I mean, it's online marketing is great. I love it. And the fact of the matter is, it's evolving a lot faster than any other medium that's used marketing and sales.
That's
Does that
so
make
true.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, newspaper was basically the first. I mean, I could be wrong. Pretty sure marketing and sales goes all the way back to the beginning of man when we traded. But when you're talking about the more, marketing and sales framework, it started with newspaper. And if you watch how very old newspapers, if you sit in a Cracker Barrel one day in the United States and you see all the old newspaper things, look at the differences. They went from the very basic foundation of marketing and sales, which is what you're talking about. This is who it's for, and these are the things that it can do for you. Here's how you get here's how you get that information, right? That was it. Now it's, look at Nike. Before it was buy our shoes, and now they're like, look at this hero running in the shoes. You don't know his name, but he's a hero.
And you want to be a hero too.
And you want to be a hero too. I mean, they went from buy our shoes to look, Michael Jordan wears our shoes. Don't you want to be like Mike? To look, here's a random dude running a marathon in our shoes. They have a very specific avatar, don't they? That they're seeking a very specific. Now anybody can wear their shoes, right? They're not going to go if I walk into their store, they're not going to go, oh, don't buy our shoes. You're not an athlete. But they are definitely targeting the athlete, the hero athlete,
or
very
even the
much
wannabe
so.
athlete.
Yeah, even the wannabe athlete, and and Adidas and some of the others are more like, let's do it from a fashion space. Here, you can
But
look
see, you
cool.
found something here with either one of those brands, and that's the desires. They're speaking to the desires of their audience because they understand their audience. And this is what we're talking about, an aspect of this shallow niche thing. You're not speaking to the desires. It's just this cutout of this person, right? And then I find people switching niches. Oh, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Or I have the wrong audience. My offer sucks. It's this and that. That may not have been even
Engaging
the
in more
reason.
information. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a point when you already know everything you can possibly know that marketing and sales has to offer, and you need to go one step further and another step further and another step further. Because the fact of the matter is even though, like the business that I worked with that made $150K in 1 month, it was a Christmas sale. They sold out. And their advertising budget was $70,000 a month.
Wow.
And the thing is they had this is the problem. He had all the staff under the sun. Now, okay, everybody, let's tune in for a minute. $150K in a month, $70,000 advertising budget, and nobody on his staff knew what the damn message was. They were still selling. And the only reason why they were doing successful is because they had a very clear, we are focusing on this group of people. But they didn't break down that group of people, right? They didn't break down that group of people enough. They just did that okay, like I am going after females. What kind of female? I can't be specific with them because then I'd be releasing information and you'd figure out who they are. But but it's like, for example, a doctor. Okay, you have your general practitioner and then you have your heart surgeon. You know which one to go to, don't you?
Yeah.
Right? So what happened with the specific business, because they didn't know the message that they were sending, what they were asking specifically is, who the hell are we talking to? We know the process. We know what we're selling. We know who it's for, but who exactly? And that's what you mean by the shallow niche. And what it was is what I see is a lot of people are doing this very general, very, very general. I help female entrepreneurs do X, right? Okay. So, but what kind of female entrepreneur are you talking about here? Because there's a lot of female entrepreneurs. There's female entrepreneurs who just started out. There's female entrepreneurs who have been in the game for a while, who are making X number, doing this or that. What is it? Right. And that's kind of what I'm talking about and what you're talking about with the shallow niche. And the only way you can really discover that is by engaging with people. And this company, even though they were making, 6 figures every month, they were talking to their ideal client, but because the owner never took a hot second to learn the foundations of his own business, they were just doing what a marketing agency does. They have the knowledge, they know what to do, but they're just applying the basics. They're not going deeper with it because they don't have the information they need from the owner himself. Because they're like, we don't know what he wants. He kept stalling their own process because they would do something, he'd come in second guess it, and they'd have to start all over again. As a matter of fact, when that $150K month came up, I said, just go send out the goddamn email. They quit fighting over what to say. That was what was going on with his staff, because they were like, we don't know what he wants. Because they'd send it to him, he'd go, no, not right, do this, do that, and then they go into the, the bickering. And that's what I think, with people that are at the stages that we are targeting, right? In that first 5 years, basically, they really need to understand that before they go and hire somebody. Now, some of my people may
Yes.
have already got a
Wow.
staff, but you really do have to understand your own foundation before you go hiring out other people to mess around with your house.
Yeah, definitely. Or hiring other people thinking that they're going to accelerate all of this for you when you don't have those foundations in order. Like, I don't know how many times I've spoken to women who, I'm just going to go get a social media manager. Well, that social media manager is not going to, write your content. Yeah, they can make some bang on graphics, but if your messaging's not on point,
Yeah.
you're going to be right where you are with less money.
That's just like a brand expert redid my cover photo and then gave me this big whole breakdown of what I could do to improve my bookings. I was like, okay, first of all, the cover photo, you didn't even look. You just found my name, Leah Sparrow Digital Marketing LLC, and threw that on the cover photo.
Mm.
What does that? No. Yes, I started out. Digital marketing is part of the core. Yes, it is. There are thousands of other ways to build your business through networking events, in person, all of that kind of stuff. And we definitely can talk about stuff like that. The only reason why I focus around digital marketing is because it's a way to create a presence without having to pay for a website and build a giant funnel.
Mhm.
Right. And
Yeah.
then if you are so far in your business, you'll be able to understand what that funnel looks like. And that's part of the foundations too. When you go too
Wow.
shallow,
Yeah.
you're not going to understand the journey your client wants to take with you. And
Yes.
that journey
Ooh.
includes the buying freaking process.
Yeah. 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 These things have to be thought about. And then you plan it out and then you follow it.
And then you sit there and go, all right, what's not working? Because when you have a very clear idea of what your foundation is, okay, I put up this wall here. This wall over here is my website. I've decided to add a website, right? Here's my foundation. Here's my website. But if you don't have a good solid foundation, the wall is going to fall.
Mhm. Yeah. Yep. Yes, indeed. You see a
And
lot
if
of
you
people
don't,
now just,
I think there's also the one and done aspect about niche.
yeah.
Okay, I decided who I wanted. I don't have to think, I don't have to figure it out anymore. Yeah, you do.
It's
Because
it's constantly
marketing
going to
and
be changing.
sales changes. It shifts and changes and evolves over time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Nike went from buy our shoes, same fucking problem they're solving. You need shoes to run in, right? We got shoes. From buy our shoes to, oh, you want to be like a celebrity now. Everybody's all hyped up on Mike. Let's use him for a while. Oh, wait, nope. Everybody's sick of the celebrity shit. They just want everyman. Okay, well, where's our everyman hero? Who is that? Because we're doing heroes here. That's I always use Nike because everybody knows Nike, and you can also see this in
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's. You can see this in
Oh, yeah.
any service that has been, they're not services, they're products, but they're also portraying themselves as a service provider.
Hmm.
You notice that about
Yeah.
successful product-based businesses are providing a service as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that because people want that personal touch. So if you are 100% an online service-based business, you better fucking know about who your people are and what they want.
You're hitting on so much here.
I know we could go on and on
Woo!
forever.
Yeah.
So if you have a topic you would like for Sutton and I to ramble on and on about, you can either email me. Our information is in the show notes below. Email me or Sutton. Let us know some ideas. Comment on this podcast. Give us a review. Let us know your thoughts about this episode, and we'll get together again and go down a rabbit hole and talk about stuff based on your feedback. You know, we do plan to do this. We don't know how often because we're both busy entrepreneurs building businesses and helping people be rock stars in their own little world. So thank you so much, Sutton, for joining me. As always, it is a pleasure to talk with you. I'm glad that we connected because she's just like me. We wish there was a sarcasm font on Facebook. Somebody suggested Comic Sans. We'll look into it.
I just use the poop emoji. That's the closest.
I
Or the
like
clown
those too.
emoji.
The poo or the clown emoji. Now you know why we use emojis, because we have to give you what this is sarcasm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get upset. It's just sarcasm. But thank you so much, Sutton. And, by the way, Sutton is living a busy life. She's got her baby sitting on her lap right now. So I'm going to let her go enjoy her beautiful family. And thanks so much for connecting with me today. And I look forward to more conversations with you.
Thank you, Leah. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to join the Effortlessly Book community on Facebook for more free resources and support. Simply check out the show notes. Please share this podcast with other online service providers in your circle. And by all means, leave a comment and let me know your biggest takeaway, along with other topics you would like me to cover, so you can continue to make business effortless.